Ikigai. What is the purpose that powers your career? No, this is not a Japanese cultural course, and you do not have to move to Okinawa to benefit from the concept of Ikigai for your life and career. The concept of Ikigai is very practical and, although rooted in Japanese culture, has universal applicability. It aligns well with the principles of Western psychology. Mihály Csíkszentmihályi, a leading researcher in positive psychology who pioneered the concept of flow, is an example. Viktor Frankl, who developed logotherapy, built on the idea of meaning as the reason for living. Logotherapy is part of existential and humanistic psychology theories. Let's start the introduction to Ikigai. The Japanese concept of Ikigai is often translated as a reason for being. It refers to the sense of purpose, satisfaction, and meaning that makes life worth living. The term is composed of two words, Iki, meaning life, and Gai, meaning value or worth. Together, they express the idea of finding joy and fulfillment in life through activities, relationships, and goals that give one a sense of meaning and direction. The idea of Ikigai has deep cultural roots in Japan. Stretching back to the Heian period around 1,000 years ago, in traditional Japanese society, the idea of fulfilling life was closely tied to community, craftsmanship, and harmony. People often derive their sense of purpose not from individual ambition, but from their role within the group or from their contribution to others' well-being. This collectivist orientation continues to influence the Japanese understanding of Ikigai today. It is less about grand achievements and more about living meaningfully and with balance. At its core, Ikigai represents the intersection between what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. In Western reception, the concept is mostly used for career guidance. In Japan, Ikigai is not necessarily linked to one's profession or financial success. It can be found in simple pleasures, social connections, and acts of kindness. The essence of Ikigai lies in the harmony between personal fulfillment and contribution to others. And yes, you can have Ikigai only in your private life, and your job may be more or less fulfilling, but it still allows you to pay your bills. This is not wrong, but not optimal either. We'll focus here on realizing Ikigai in your career. But do not forget about the life aspect either. In other words, get as much Ikigai realized in your profession at your job as possible. It will provide you with energy and flow, as well as the purpose and meaning that brings you through the hard times. Let's now see how you can find your Ikigai. Finding Ikigai is a deeply personal process. It requires self-awareness and an understanding of what brings you joy, meaning, and vitality. The journey often involves asking questions such as, what activities make me lose track of time? What am I naturally drawn to or curious about? What values are most important to me? How can I use my skills or passion to contribute to others? Activities that make you lose track of time can put you in a state of flow. Flow is energy, and to have flow, it takes a balance between the challenge of an activity and the skill level you have to accomplish the task. The question about skills and the contribution to others links you to society and provide income if it's a paid activity. The topic of flow is well researched by Mihály Csíkszentmihályi, who was mentioned before. Let's now see how you can find Ikigai in your career. After you have explored the questions above, you can get more specific and focus on your career. You can, of course, bring the findings of personality assessments you did in the past into the reflection. Insights from a Myers-Briggs type indicator or the PSA, the personal structure analysis, are very helpful here. The following 4 questions guide you in finding Ikigai in your career. First, what do I love? Second, what am I good at? Third, what does the world need from me? Fourth, what can I get paid for? In the Venn diagram you can see here, you find each question represented by a circle. Where the 4 circles intersect is your Ikigai. Career planning. Based on the results, you can go forward with career planning. The findings you have from Ikigai form the basis for what you want to do in the foreseeable future. This can be 3 to 5 or even 10 years. Don't forget to include your personal and private spheres in the plan. If you neglect them, they will not support your career and will either drain substantial energy or sabotage it. The social aspect links you to your friends, your local community, and the world at large. What is to be done when you find little Ikigai in your current job or profession? If you find little Ikigai in your current job or profession, you don't necessarily have to quit your job or switch professions. If your current situation makes it very difficult or almost impossible to make the change to have Ikigai in your professional life, which provides you and your family with an income for the foreseeable future, keep it. Look for Ikigai in your private life. It will provide you with the energy and balance you need to cope with the challenges of your job. And yes, sometimes it takes years and a lot of investment in personal development to be able to work into circumstances that give you Ikigai in your career. All the best for a happy, meaningful life and career built on your strengths and interests that give you purpose and flow.